Hello, my name is Sara Ybarra, and I'm going to be talking about gun control and its debate. This is my workspace for now, and this is me. Sometimes I don't like to speak in front of the camera, but we will be looking at several of the points in regards to gun control. But let me begin by saying that my dad is a police officer, my stepdad is a retired judge, my mom is a teacher, my brother, who is fixing to be 19, has hunted practically all of his life. Because of my dad, we have been around guns all of our entire lives. And I have, a couple like BB guns or whatever that I've had since I was a young girl. I go hunting with my brother. So guns to us are no big deal, and we have always been around them all of our lives. So with that being said, let's move on to our next sections. I think the first thing that should be considered is the definition of gun control. Gun control in and of itself covers a wide variety of things. I think immediately people think of gun control and immediately they assume that you're not going to be allowed to have guns, and that's not it at all. I believe gun control is just talking about who can sell them, who can have them, how they can be kept, how they can be carried, and what duties somebody has if you're going to sell them. For instance, since my dad is a police officer, well, of course he's allowed to carry them. My mom works at a school. Even though she has a concealed handgun license, she's not allowed to carry it in the school district or on the premises. There's just different laws that I believe all of us should follow. And in recent years, there's just been quite a bit of debate on gun control and I think it focuses on background checks and whatnot. But I believe that we do not need additional gun laws. I just believe that we should possibly change some of the current laws that we have. Which leads me to this slide, which talks about reforms of the current laws. I just think we should change, some of them or just fix it. I think that any law-abiding citizen is not opposed to some restrictions. I just think they have to be sensible. I think the second that the policies and legislators talk about banning guns, they immediately think that you can't have them or you can't buy them, and then people immediately assume that how on earth are you going to be able to protect your family, and that you are taking a constitutional right away, and everybody screams the Second Amendment and Second Amendment. But at the end of the day, like I said, if you truly are a law-abiding citizen, you're not going to be opposed to some of these laws just being changed or tweaked some. So, I don't have a problem with background checks. My parents went through it. Like I said, my dad has gone through it. He's dealt with people that carry guns illegally. They didn't care if there were laws or if those laws said they couldn't carry them. These are people that maybe have been criminals and are not supposed to have guns because of the current laws, and it didn't stop them from getting a gun illegally and possibly harming somebody or my dad. So I just don't believe that adding additional laws is going to fix anything. Fear purchasing is something that I read upon when I was doing my collections, of information. It talked about the fact that if there was more laws put into place, that the mass public would begin thinking, oh my God, they're not going to let us have guns, so we're just going to stockpile guns. And probably some of these people may have never thought about purchasing a gun or owning a gun, but because the government was attempting to limit the guns or the type of guns or your power to have them, then you would go out and buy some, and at that point felt, like I said, mandated by these laws. These individuals may have never wanted to own one, but because of these new laws that are probably or possibly going into effect, that people would go out and do this type of what the industry calls fear purchasing. It is definitely a money-making business. The second you make guns illegal, I mean, you are making it a business. Like this slide says, I believe that making more laws against having guns will just allow more people, more money to be made, like in black markets. There's these types of shows. Of course, you always see gun shows, and I don't believe those places are mandated or mandating people to go through background checks or whatnot. But the second, again, that you make guns illegal, you're going to do it. It's kind of like when you tell a child not to do something. Well, of course, that's the first thing they're going to do. Tell a kiddo not to leave, a teenager not to leave the house when they're not supposed to, and that's what they're going to do. Especially when people are so or hold dear to their heart constitutional amendments. So, but it's a money-making business. Now, and no matter what side of the debate that you're on, the economic impact of gun control is massive. Billions and billions of dollars are being spent on guns, on making laws, or possibly being wasted on laws. There are many people that work in the industry, whether it be stores that sell them, places that teach you how to use them appropriately, lots of different places. So if and when there were more laws restricting gun purchases, I do believe that the economic impact would be felt a great deal by many. So I think that also needs to be considered into the debate, and people just get so heated when discussing that the economic impact is never thought about. So needless to say, I am on the side of gun control that says just reform the current laws, do not add any of them. We just need sensible laws and not so restricting.